Hi everyone, me again. I hope you're all well. I've been asked to do a video about nightly skincare because quite often people don't believe that I'm nearly 41, and my friends have asked if I will do a video showing my nightly skincare routine to see if maybe it can help them. So hopefully it might help them and maybe it will help you. Now, most people think you should leave skincare until you're in your early to mid 30s to help prevent anti-aging and things like that. But I honestly think the earlier you start it, the better. And so to all of my friends who are in their mid 20s, I tell them to start using anti-aging products as soon as possible and moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. That's the key factor in all of this. For those of us who have had problems with our skin in the past, mine used to be so bad that I had to go on Accutane twice in my life to get rid of two very, very horrible outbreaks of cystic acne. One was so bad once that I had an acne blister on this eyebrow that was so big it forced my eye shut. So my skin is damaged because of that, and I've also travelled a lot in my life to different countries, different continents, and so I've seen a lot of places, I've been a lot of places, and I've not always had access to perfect skincare wherever I've been, because when you're travelling you basically have SPF, sun factor cream, and that's it sometimes. So you don't always have the right things. So today's video is all really about just what I do every evening. Some parts of it I only do twice a week, but I'm going to do that part tonight to show you what I do. But apart from that one part, everything else I do is what I do every single night before I go to bed. So let's get started. As you can see, the first thing that I've got on is makeup, and that has to get gone first. So first of all, I'm going to take this lovely headband and I'm just going to take my hair back off my face because I don't want, oh, there goes one of my headphones, because I don't want any of what I'm going to be putting on getting into my hair. So that goes on first. Out come my ears. And then if you want, you can go even further and clip your hair back. But I have no idea where my hair clip is today. Oh, actually, yes I do, it's over there. I'm just blind. Okay, so I'm just going to clip this in place in a couple of places with a little dolly grip, just to make sure it doesn't come off. Okay, so first of all we've got our hairpin back, and I'm just going to quickly tuck it up in a little grip to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. So that's it, that's me. Sorry if you see me looking down, but I'm kind of using my laptop as a mirror, which is there, and my camera is there. So if you see me looking down, it's just because I'm adjusting to make sure everything is in the right place. Okay, so as you can see, still got the makeup on, hairbands in place, we need to take the makeup off. Now, to start with, what I will use is just some basic Aloe Vera moisturizer. This doesn't have to be expensive at all. I like aloe vera, some people prefer shea butter, some people prefer coconut butter. It's up to you completely. I like aloe vera because, as I said, I've had problems with my skin in the past, and I find this one is the most lightweight and most regenerative for my skin. So to start off, I'm just going to take a couple of pumps of the moisturizer, and I'm just going to start by putting a little bit under my eye, because we want to protect this at all times. Now, this is an alternative to going out and buying expensive makeup remover, because makeup remover is essentially moisturizer in a bottle with a couple of extra ingredients in it and about a 10 or 5 to 10 euro extra price just for what we're doing now. So we want to basically make sure we're not getting any in our eye, but we're getting it just underneath, especially if you're wearing mascara, and load it more on top. Try and load it on top of your eyelashes. I'll lean forward to see, so you can see what I'm doing. But when you open your eye, then there's none actually in your eye, it's just on your eyelashes. It does look a little bit like I've been shat on by a great height by some very, very, very unhealthy seagulls. But hey, it works. Okay, so once we've got all of that around the eye, just want to leave it there for a moment. Any excess you've got, always moisturise your hands, because people forget hands need moisture as well. Then once we've done that, we're going to take a couple of face pads. Now this is my fault for sending my husband to buy face pads. He's bought me half ones instead of full ones. Yay! Probably should have checked that before I turned on the video. It doesn't really matter, I'm just going to end up using twice as many of them. Fabulous. So anyway, once they've been on for about a minute, I'm going to end up with mascara all over my hands now. Take your, what should be a full circle wipe, and just gently wipe down. You shouldn't be pressing, you shouldn't be rubbing circles, you should just gently be rubbing down. Now it's really important that until you feel you've got all of that mascara off, that you don't open your eye, because you're going to end up with mascara in your eye, and that is something that we don't want. So now you can take some of the moisturizer that's been around your face and maybe open your eye a little and just rub upwards, but very, very, very gently. At no point should you be rubbing and taking more than you need to. You may need to refill a little bit more moisturizer, but again, an entire bottle is like €1, or this one I think is even better at 89 cents, and this will last you for makeup remover for at least 6 months. No, maybe not that long, 3 to 4. So again, I'm just going to wipe very, very, very gently. I'm not pressing, I'm not getting into the under eye, I'm just wiping the excess off. When you see me rubbing a little bit, that's because I'm coming from underneath the eyelash. You can see, yeah, pull straight up. The other one will come off much, much easier than this one, because obviously the mascara has been soaking for longer. I'm just going to use a tiny bit more on this one. You want to make sure you get all of the mascara off before you do the next stage. Okay. So that's all the mascara off on one side, and all of the eyeshadow and eyeliner that I had on just before. So now we're going to take another one of these silly half things. I have no idea why he's done this. Don't send a man to get your beauty things, ladies, not without pictures. Okay, so now we're going to go to the other eye, and again this one should be easier to come off. Yeah, you'll feel straight away. It's much, much easier to come off because it's been soaking for that little bit longer. So you're just gently going to rub whatever you've got on your eye off. And when I say rub, I literally just mean stroke. Okay, I should say stroke rather than rub, because rub indicates like harsh movement. But as you can see, I'm just gently wiping. I'm not at all stretching the skin under the eye. I'm not stretching the skin above the eye to take out any, or risk getting any of the lashes. Oh, okay. Suddenly they're big ones. Who knows? Mystery. Okay, so now I'm going to go underneath the eye a little, or underneath from the lash line, just to take off there. And I'm just going to put one last dab on each, just to make sure everything's off. So remember, apply above the eye, leading down towards the lash line. Do not apply it to your eye. And if you get moisturizer in your eye, make sure you rinse it well with water. Moisturizer really shouldn't do much to your eye because it's moisturizer, but it may sting a little bit, especially if you're easily irritated skin. Again, that's why I recommend Aloe Vera, because it's the most it's the best option for sensitive skin usually, and contains the least perfume. So by this point, as you can see, there's nothing on the pad. It's completely clean. I'm just going to quickly go under my eyes again, make sure they're nice and moisturized. Now, I just want to go over once more why I do this. I do this mainly because I'm cheap, and if I went to a store and I bought something like a Garnier makeup remover with this, that and the other, if you look on the back, it's basically just moisturizer with maybe some cooling agents so your skin feels cool. So it'll have cucumber or menthol or something like that in it, which will make your face go, oh, I feel so fresh. But they'll charge you like £6 or £7 for a little tiny bottle of cleansing milk. €1. Same effect. The trick with taking off eye makeup is to be as gentle as possible. Once you get over a certain age, the elasticity underneath your eyes goes really, really quickly. And if we're rubbing our eyes, it doesn't matter what product you're using, you're going to end up with dark circles, you're going to end up with fine lines. So just always make sure around this area particularly, very, very gentle, take your time. Let the moisturizer soak in, and the more mascara or the more eyeliner you're wearing, let it soak in for that little bit longer. Now, the next thing I use is good old-fashioned skin wipes. Again, I don't buy expensive ones. I buy either ones with aloe vera, store-bought ones like Tesco, or for me, Mercadona, because I live in Spain, we have different supermarkets. Just a basic face wipe that can clean your skin. Now, I would use a different product. I would actually use just your basic Dove soap and water to wash my skin with if I had been wearing foundation during the day. But all I've had on today is basic primer and some BB cream. So as you can see, there's really not much on my skin at all to come off. So really what I'm doing here is just freshening up my pores, taking out what's there, as what will happen when you wear something like a primer, if you've moisturized properly and you've primed properly and you've added in your BB cream, then this stage, if it's been on for a full day of work, so I put it on today at about 12 o'clock and it's 10 p.m. now, So I've had it on for a long time, and you rub your face throughout the day, especially at the moment, obviously with the COVID-19, you're using antibacterial gel on your hands quite often, I hope. So when you're touching your skin, you're going to be rubbing some of that off anyway. So when it comes to the evening, there really isn't much. I'll hold it as close so you can see. There's a little bit of cream on this side, just here, but really nothing much to see. Nothing to write home about, as my mother used to say. Okay, so we just want to make sure we've gone all around our face to make sure that it's nice and clean. And everything's off. So the next part, which I'm going to show you, is the part that I don't do every night. This is something I do twice a week. And that is face mask. Now, I particularly love this particular brand. It's by Sense Beauty, and it's an exfoliating peel-off charcoal face mask. Now, obviously, as I've said before, I've had problems with acne before, and my skin is prone to spots still, even though I've been treated for it. So I'm constantly terrified, as anyone who's had acne before will know, constantly terrified of getting acne again, or any kind of blemishes that pop up. I'm instantly terrified, oh no, it's the acne again. So I like to use an exfoliating charcoal based face mask twice a week for two reasons. One, it's purifying. Charcoal is really good at cleansing your pores and getting any of the dirt out that's in there. And secondly, not only is it purifying, these particular peel off ones are really good at toning your skin and exfoliating your skin. After you take one of these off, your skin just feels so soft. It's just unbelievable. It's a really nice feeling. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video for a second and pop to my bathroom and put this on. And when I come back, you'll see me with the mask. So I'll be with you very shortly. I just came running back from the bathroom to remind you of a step that I completely forgot and was just about to put the face mask on my face before I forget. Vaseline. Vaseline is your best friend before you use any kind of peel-off face masks. You're going to take a nice sizable chunk of Vaseline and make sure it's Vaseline. The cheaper store brand ones are not as good. And what you're going to do is you're going to put it over, I mean, I know I don't have much eyebrow left, but what I do have, I'd like to keep. So, you're just going to put quite a lot over your eyebrow. If you want at this point, you can just pop some on your eyelashes as well, just for fun, really. I'll come on to why later, but for now, it's no real need. I just like the feeling of it on my eyelashes. Okay, but we're going to put the Vaseline over our eyebrows for the very important reason that exfoliating peel-off masks are meant to be ripped off, and you don't want that happening to your eyebrows. You really don't. Speaking from experience. So make sure you've got a coating of Vaseline really quite thick over your eyebrows first. And if you have sensitive lips, do the same there and around your lip area. Just like this. And a little under your eye, because you don't want that sensitive area under your eye being caught out by the peel-off exfoliating mask. So just a reminder, eyebrows, around this section of the eye, eyelashes if you feel like it, you will be doing them again later, and around the sensitive skin of your mouth. Basically anywhere where there's sensitive skin or hair that can be pulled off, nice layer of Vaseline before you put the mask on. And with that said, I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so I'm back, and it's a little hard to talk because this has been drying for a little while. It's not quite ready to come off yet, but I just wanted to talk to you, or try and talk to you, because I can barely move my mouth at this point, because the one that I showed you, let me just grab another one quickly, is this one, which is Sense Beauty Exfoliate Purify Your Skin Face Mask Peel Off Charcoal. Now, I can get this here in Spain for €1 for 5 of these. But I've been looking on the internet while my face mask was drying, and I can't actually find that this is available in the UK. I looked on Amazon, it just didn't come up. I looked on eBay, but it came up as being sold out, and they were asking 3 or 4 times the price for it. So I had a look at some options. Now, this is another one that I've got, which is Seventh Heaven, and I remember seeing this in the UK, or at least I remember this silly face with the leaves on it when I lived in the UK. So this is one that I've got as a kind of backup, but I really use this as a last resort because I don't feel it has the same pulling and peeling effect as the Sense Beauty one does. So because of that, I've had a quick look at some different things on Amazon UK that you could use to replace Sense Beauty if you can't find it for some reason in the shops where you are. I would have thought that you can find this maybe if you go into some place like Superdrug or something like that, because all of the directions on it are in English, but it's sold in Spanish shops, and all of the online Spanish shops I could find it and don't ship to the UK. So I don't really understand that difference, because literally everything about this is in English. Yeah, literally everything, and then according to this, it's actually made in the Netherlands. So I don't know if you could go on their direct website and order it. I'll put the website in the description box for you, and you can see if you can. But as I said, the one I get is a box of 5 of these, so 5 uses for €1. This is the only part of really all the skincare that I use that I would suggest, if you can't find this particular one somewhere, spending that little bit extra on, because a good face mask is really important for pulling out all the stuff from your skin that's sitting under there that you really, really want to get rid of. So having a look at amazon.co.uk, I found one called Pro Coal, as in P-R-O Coal, C-O-A-L for charcoal, which at the moment is $8.99 with a £5 saving at the moment. And it does exactly what this one does, which is detoxifies, reduces excess oil, and it's made in the UK according to this, and it's cruelty free. So it's a nice brand to use, and it's still under £10. The other thing I would say about this choice of mask is, for me, I use this one because obviously my past skin problems, and so I want something that's exfoliating, toning and purifying to reduce the chance of spots as much as possible. But what mask you choose really does depend on what your individual face needs. Have you got very dry skin? Then get something with aloe vera, green tea, olive oil, something that's going to nourish and hydrate. Are you worried about open pores on your skin? Then go for something with rose oil in it, and that's going to really help with open pores. The best thing that I can advise you to do, if you don't really know what is the best mask for you, is have a quick look online, type in something like, what is the best face mask for me, and I'm sure there are hundreds of little quizzes you can do that will tell you the kind of things to look for. I personally prefer any mask that can be peeled off. The reason for that is I don't want to have to put a mask on, sit around for half an hour, wait for it to do its thing like a clay mask and go hard, and then either go and have a shower just before bed. I prefer to have a shower in the morning, or then you've got to stand next to a sink and kind of splash your face, and the water goes everywhere, and it looks like you've had a fight with a cat trying to get it into a shower, only slightly less bloody. And you've just got water and bits of oil and clay stuck everywhere, and your hair ends up getting wet, and it's just not a very relaxing thing. And part of this whole routine for me in the evenings is it gives me a little chance to relax before I go to bed, and when I go to sleep I can go, okay, my skin is nice and clean for the morning. I can just jump in the shower and moisturize in the morning, and off we go. So again, I'm really sorry that the brand that I'm using may only be available in Spain, but do try looking for it. As I said, I will link the maker's website in the description. Maybe you can buy direct from them, I'm not sure. But if not, try and look on Amazon and look for a decent face mask. And if you don't know what kind of face mask is good for you, then have a look online, see what your skin needs are, and you know what your skin needs are best. The most important thing about face masks is always to avoid this area here, because you don't need a face mask on the really, really thin skin around your eyes. You definitely don't need it on your lips, and remember, if it's a peel-off mask, Vaseline always on your eyebrows. Okay, so I'm about ready to peel this bad boy off. I'll probably cry a little bit, because I usually do, because I mean, this is why I like this one. It really ow 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 oh, it really does stick to the skin. Ow, it got my nose hair. Now my eyes are watering. It really does stick to the skin. As you can see, I'm really having to pull it off. Ow, ow. There you go. Whew. It's taken one of my hairs with it. So there you go. There's the face mask. If you can find where your nose was, quite frequently, if you're like me, you like to check to see if it's actually worked. Look where your nose is. You will always find a couple of blackheads that it's removed. As you can see, my face is still covered in places with mask. So what you're going to do is you're going to take another face wipe, like we used earlier, just to cleanse quickly, and you're just going to take that off with one of those. It's much easier than scratching off with your fingers, because you don't want to leave red marks anywhere. So just rub your face like this. It will also get rid of the Vaseline on your eyebrows, which you don't want. It always gets stuck at the end of my nose for some reason, and I look like a little mask bunny. Okay. Off you come. Remember, as you're rubbing any of this off, don't rub too hard. You don't want your skin ending up red. But remember, it is a face mask. You are going to have a little bit of redness with any peel-off face mask, because that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to take off some of your skin, so it lets the skin underneath grow again. I always get it stuck on this jawline. Don't know why. It never peels off there. Okay. So that is me mask free, mostly, now. A couple of bits stuck in my hair, but I'll get to them later. But the best part now about this is my skin just feels completely fresh, completely new. I'm going to come up close so you can see here. It's really, really, really clear. My skin has... Oh, I'm missing a bit there. Still trying to get some of the mask off. So here I'm not feeling anything but fresh on my face, and my skin feels really nice and tight from wearing the mask, and it just feels very, very fresh and, well, nice is the only way I can describe it. So now we're going to come on to the next part of my personal regime, and this is the part that I really recommend for everyone over the age of 35 to start including in their nightly routine. Whether or not you do the rest of it is up to you, and that is lactic acid, 10%. There we go. It's really hard getting this webcam. One day I'll work out how this works. Anyway, lactic acid, 10% solution. You can buy this pretty much anywhere, any cosmetic shop, or again online. Now make sure, obviously, if you've got sensitive skin, before you use this, do a skin test first. A little bit on the side of your neck. If you get any reaction to it, stop straight away. The one that I use also contains hydrochloric acid, hyaluronic acid, not hydrochloric, that would be bad. Hyaluronic acid. Now, the idea of using this is to get rid of anything like scarring or discoloration from the sun, and it comes in this lovely little, everyone that I've seen and it's been the same. It's this lovely little pipette that comes with it, and you usually want to make sure it's filled about halfway with the liquid. Now obviously, because I'm using acid, I'm just going to get a mirror out so that I can watch what I'm doing slightly more carefully, but you should be able to see exactly what I'm doing anyway. Now, as with anything that we do, we're going to put a couple of drops on, but have your other finger ready. So here is my biggest spot, so I'm just going to pop a couple of drops on. Obviously it's a liquid, so it's going to go quite quickly. So what you're going to do is you're just going to tap, 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 tap. Remember, I like to tap all over the area that you need it. Tap, 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 always tapping. Make sure you avoid your eyes. You don't want acid of any kind in your eyes. So we're going to pop this in the areas that you need it the most. So I need it definitely here because I've got some very bad brown discoloration at the top here. I'm going to tap it in because obviously you want it to be sitting on your skin, and then I'm going to put it here as well because I've got some redness and some acne scarring here. Again, tap. Make sure you don't go up to that tender, soft, thin skin near your eye. Stay on your cheekbone if you've got any damage here. I'm also going to pop a little drop of it here because I also have some acne scarring here. Yay for acne. And I'm going to repeat the same on the other side very quickly because I have the same on the other side. The lovely thing I like about lactic acid is, although you're not going to see results straight away, you will notice your skin start to look smoother after about a week to 2 weeks of use. But you're not going to get rid of that discoloration or any major scarring for about 3 to 4 months of constant use. Okay, I'm always going to come back to the top of my face here because this is where I have the most damage. The other thing that I like very much about lactic acid, which I don't about other formulas like this for your skin, is once it's soaked in, which takes about 10 minutes, you can put other products onto your face as long as you're careful, and there isn't any problem at all. They don't mix badly together. Okay, so as you can see, I've used about half of what I had in the pipette, and that's going to go away. Now that's my lactic acid done. So as I said before, I will always wait 10 minutes and then we do the final thing that I do before I go to bed every night, which is moisturize. And as we know, I'm paranoid about acne. I also like to use Himalaya Herbal Anti-Acne Cream, which is this. And I just put it on the sides of my face here, mainly on this jawline here, and this jawline here especially is where I get breakouts most often, and just in the T-zone here. The last thing I'm going to show you that I use this evening is from a company called Farmaskin, spelt with an F instead of a PH, and it's an acne smoothing solution. Again, this is available online pretty much anywhere. You should always shake before you use this one. Now this can't be used with other products. So if you noticed, when I put on the lactic acid, I stuck to my cheek line here and I didn't go onto my jawline, and that's because this is going to be used on my jawline. So I'll try and do this one. I'm going to use the mirror again. Apologies for not looking directly at you. So you just pop a couple of drops of this in the place where you're used to getting some acne. This has got quite a strong alcohol smell to it. When you first use it, you will get used to it. And I'm just going to pop that onto the areas where I usually find I get a little spotty. I haven't got any at the moment, but better to be safe than sorry. So I'm just going to pop that again. Always use little circles whenever you're rubbing your skin. I'm going to do the same on this side. This is where I get a few here. Just a couple of drops is all you'll need. Both of these products, the Farmaskin Acne Solution and the Lactic Acid, you'll always find to be quite cheap. Both of them come to under 10 euros, and the best thing about both of these is that they will last you a long time. If you're using it correctly, the lactic acid especially will last you about 3 months before you have to get it again, of nightly use. So 3 months of nightly use is pretty good, I think, for such a good product. Now one more time, I'm going to pause before I come back to the final step, because I need to go wash my hands and clean this stuff, or clean this stuff off my hands first, and wait for the lactic acid to soak into my skin before I go over the final part of my evening skin routine. So I'll be back with you in a few minutes. Go make yourselves a cup of tea, or pause the video and then come back, because obviously I'll pause it, but then it will go straight back in, which will be weird. So yeah, speak to you in a moment. Hi, so I'm back. It's been 10 minutes. My skin is now not tacky at all, and that's what you want to do. Just again, a little tap on your face to check whether or not it's tacky at all. If it's tacky, leave it for a little bit longer. That's still the lactic acid soaking into your skin. But if it's not, if there's no tackiness at all, you're good to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to what we started with, right back to the start. We're going to go back to our just normal aloe vera moisturizer. Now, the reason that I wanted to use this again, and just to talk to you about this again, was years and years ago, back before I started traveling and I became a teacher, and now I live in Spain. I worked for a time in my early 20s at the Johnson & Johnson compound in Reading. I say compound because you had doors and gates and had passes and all sorts of things. It was kind of scary looking working there. So yeah, I used to work at this place in Reading, which was for Johnson & Johnson, and if you worked there you could get a staff discount, which I loved at the time, and you basically could go into the Johnson & Johnson staff shop and you could spend up to, I think it was £12 at the time, a week in the Johnson & Johnson staff shop. And one of the brands that Johnson & Johnson owns and uses and pushes quite a lot is the ROC brand, ROC brand, of very high-end, quite expensive skincare products. And these anti-aging creams and these eye serums and everything in there, if you go into Boots or you go into a different kind of chemist, other chemists are available. If you go into any kind of chemist and look at these products, things like the night cream for ROC is something like £35–40. And it was a similar price back then. I think it was like £28–29 to £30 for what is essentially just a night serum for your eyes. And when we went and bought it in the shop, we got it for like £1.50, £2 maybe, for these really expensive products. And I remember saying to a friend of mine who'd worked there a lot longer, how comes we get it so cheaply? Because this is, you know, a ridiculous down price from what we pay in the shops. And they went, yeah, and they're still making 40% on what we pay. And it was at that point I realised the markup on these products is insane. And what they've got inside them is really no different to this. They may have a couple of extra ingredients that will reduce puffiness, things like that. But if you want to reduce puffiness, buy yourself one of those gel masks. I've got one in my fridge, and when I do my morning care routine video, you'll see it then, because that goes on my face for a few minutes. And it reduces any puffiness around my eyes from either a late night or a bad night's sleep. And it's exactly the same. And you buy it once. Whereas a tiny little tube of these high-end night mask creams, anti-aging creams, ridiculous markup. You're giving them £30–40 for a moisturizer, and they're literally getting a profit, a 40% profit, when they're only charging their staff £2 for it. So the profit they're making from you buying that insane priced stuff is ridiculous. It really is for people to use to go, oh, it smells so nice, oh, it's lovely. It's lovely, yes, but it's unnecessary. And as you can tell from my skin, when I turned 41 in just a few months' time, and I've never used that product, I've used what you've seen this evening, and my skin does not look like that of a 41-year-old woman. So yeah, but back to our normal aloe vera. I personally like the Vaseline brand. I love Vaseline. I really do. I really love Vaseline. But this one is just €1 or 99 cents in my local supermarket, and it's just the same as the aloe vera one by Vaseline. It's just not quite as nice smelling. So I just take 2 pumps of the moisturizer and I rub it between my hands. And then we're going to start in circles around, not rubbing hardly, not rubbing too hard rather, but just on that gentle skin. And we're going to start there first, because remember, we have just had acid on our faces. So we want to start in the area where there was definitely no acid. So on your circle lines around your eyes, rub in. Then go back to your hands, rub together again, and then just bring it over your face. Always making sure you're rubbing in circles like this. This stimulates blood flow, as does the tapping when we're doing our lactic acid. So the rubbing and the tapping, it stimulates blood flow to your top of your skin, and it helps the skin regenerate faster. So if you're seeing a problem with fine lines start to appear, gently rubbing circular motions with your moisturizer is a really, really, really good idea, because you're going to regenerate much, much quicker, especially if you're using it in conjunction with the lactic acid. Okay, so you should put the moisture on until it no longer feels greasy on your skin, because if it's too greasy and it's left on your skin, basically everything we just did where we cleansed and exfoliated, we're just putting it back in. So we want to make sure it's definitely rubbed in nicely. there's not any excess product sitting on top of your skin. And if there is any excess product and you have used a little too much, simply take a tissue, press it on your face, just to take off anything extra that's too much for your skin to absorb. Then we're going to go back to my favourite, Vaseline. Now, Vaseline is wonderful at hydration because it locks in the hydration that you've just put in your skin with the aloe vera cream or whatever moisturizer you choose to use. So I'm going to put some on my lips to start with because it just feels nice, but I'll reapply it to my lips before I brush my teeth, before I finally get into bed this evening. But then I'm going to pop some here where I get some fine lines. Not too much, we don't want it to be too greasy, but again, tiny little circles. We just want it to lock in the moisturizer that we put on before. Then again, I've got quite a bit left on my finger, so we're going to gently pop it underneath the eye, just in one straight motion, because we don't want to over moisturize underneath the eye, because that actually leads to puffy eyes, and we don't want puffy eyes. So that's why we're using the Vaseline, because we've hydrated using the aloe vera moisturizer, and the Vaseline rather, just locks in that hydration, so it means it's not going to go anywhere, and your skin will stay hydrated. Like if you get dry skin at the side of your nose like I do, it's also good to put it there. Now, the final place to put it is actually on your eyelashes, and you want to put quite a lot on your eyelashes. Basically make it so that your eyelashes stick to the top of your eye with the Vaseline. Now, this isn't a skincare routine, but part of my beauty routine, because Vaseline is absolutely wonderful for strengthening, moisturizing, and lengthening your eyelashes. So if you use often mascara, your eyelashes are going to get very dried out very quickly, and obviously as we get older, that's something that we want to avoid, because we want to keep our lashes soft and supple so that we can continue putting mascara on them should we want to, or just make sure they just stay nice and long. And if you've never used Vaseline on your eyelashes, start as soon as possible, and you will notice a difference within a week of doing it every day. Both your under lashes and your top lashes will be thicker and longer and stronger just by coating them with Vaseline before you go to bed. And then that's pretty much it. Make sure you have put the Vaseline anywhere where you get fine lines. So for me, it's here and under my eyes, and then that locks in the moisture from the aloe vera. And then the final thing that I will do is just take down my hair, and before I go to bed, I get out my favourite Miracle Oil by Fructis. One pump between the hands, flick my hair over so I get the roots a little bit, concentrate on the ends, get it in there so that my hair gets a little hydration while I'm asleep as well. And then that, ladies and gentlemen, is how to look after your skin when you are 35 plus. I hope this has helped you. I hope you've taken away some tips from it. If there are any questions at all, please leave them in the comments, and I will try and get back to you as soon as possible. But my biggest takeaway, make sure you find out what type of skin you need to use your mask. Do that once or twice a week. Try and do it every 3 to 4 days if you can. Find a moisturizer that's good for you. Never pay more than £2 for it. It does exactly the same as the really expensive one, just doesn't smell as nice. And your biggest tip, get yourself a big old tub of Vaseline. Take care everyone, and good night.